Hey yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's TheFlyBoy. Don't ask why. Just check out the channel. And welcome back to a Money Talk Mondays. What is distracting you? Now, this topic. Hold on, let me turn this fan off because I need to hear myself clearly. I need to hear myself for this one. I definitely need to hear myself clearly for this one. What's going on, everybody? Okay. People who are financially educated rule the world. When I say people who are financially educated rule the world, I'm not talking about just in the United States. I'm talking about around the world. People who are financially educated rule the world. They control any and everything that goes on, whether the government is the puppet, whether the people are the puppet. The people at the top are the wealthiest because they are the most financially educated. Now, the reason why I say financially educated people control the world and not money is because a fool with money loses it. A financially educated person will always obtain money. They do not teach financial education in schools. I presume, could be wrong, it's because they want to keep the financially educated gap wide enough so that the people who may come up with different strategies of, I guess, diversifying the wealth throughout the different countries never get to the top because they never become financially sound. And the people who they allow to become financially sound are usually people who don't have this mentality of financial education. They have their celebrity, they're a basketball player, they're a hip hop artist, they're a comedian, they're people who are in the entertainment field that is here to distract you. Now, come on, I'm not one of these conspiracy theorists and nothing like that. I'm not going to come here and say you shouldn't watch the videos, you shouldn't watch the movies because it's all a distraction. No, but I feel as though you need a balance when it comes to life. And at the top of your balance, it needs to be in financial education. Everything else, and I literally mean everything else, comes below financial education. I'm talking about religion, love, helping out family. I'm talking about travel. I'm talking about everything comes below financial education because without that you can't obtain anything. Let me shout the people out in the room. Just wanted to open up with that real quick. Dog Nuts, what's going on, man? Jenna, what's up? What's up? What's going on, Ozzy? I love crossing borders. What's going on, Andre and Andrea? Remember, everybody, at the 30-minute mark, I'll open it up for everybody else that wants to come in. I try to keep these under an hour, so that's that. I'm getting closer to having FU money. That's the goal. Financial freedom, FU money, so you can do whatever you want. And make sure you have the passive income because that is a requirement as well. I've been good for a month. Keep it up, man. Ravi, what's going on, man? Facts. Yes, yes, yes. Jenna says, I don't mean to interrupt, but who knows where I can get a loan with a 520 credit score? I live in Wisconsin. See, Jenna, there's a couple things you would have to do because, like, they understand this. The people who get loans are normally people who have a higher credit score than 700, especially in this economical wish-washy time. However, check this out. However, if you have a home, if you own a home, Jenna, you can get a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, based on the value of your house. So that's one way you can do it. If you don't own a home, some places will give you a personal loan. It really depends on what other bills that you have. And yeah, it really depends on your individual bills. What's going on, Rio? What's going on, Rio? All right, so let's have this talk. Let's have this talk. Recently, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about stuff that okay, yes, it's good to have entertainment, but you really need to see what's going on behind the curtain in the world right now. Behind the curtain in the world right now, and if you could check, matter of fact, I'm gonna Google it for you guys so you can share the screen. Let me share the screen. Hold up. Let me share the screen so you guys can let me before we go here. Hold up. Google. I like to have facts and stuff. how how much money did the wealthy make during the pandemic? And I have to worry about certain words. I say, all right. In other words, U.S. billionaires have gotten about 1.2 trillion richer during the pandemic. Market surging despite years of lockdown employment, leading to a boost in the value of 401ks, IRAs, and other investments in Americans everywhere. If you guys haven't noticed, right? And I'm not back. I don't want to say the word because I don't want this podcast to get stop spreading, demonetized, or whatever. But wealthy people do not have to, and people who are financially educated do not have to abide by the same laws as they make the people who are not financially educated, not well off, abide by. A lot of the laws, and I'm trying to make sure I'm saying certain words, a lot of the laws that came up during the pandemic, wealthy people have never followed them. They've never followed them because they control the world. And to get people's mind off of it, what do? They get the entertainers to entertain you. And I'm not saying it's not worth it, but they get entertainers to take your mind off of what really matters. Just the other week, Lil Nas had a baby bump, and he was doing the pro-pregnancy thing for his album drop, right? It was so much controversy. They put it on Power 105.1, which everybody watched. They put it on CNN. They put it on CNBC. Oh, the guy is sold a pregnancy because they knew it would grab people's attention that wanted to argue about this in the black culture. They wanted to argue about this. But none of that matters. But people were so thrilled. Every channel that you've seen on YouTube was saying, oh my God, I can't believe Lil Nas, this is bad for the black man, this is this. But none of that does as much damage as having financially uneducated people. Then they had another one where people stopped going to church and all this other stuff, and everybody's questioning religion, we're questioning all that stuff, and none of that matters in the grand scheme of things either, because the financially wealthy and educated are the ones that control whether or not any of that stuff even gets an opportunity to be done. They control whether or not you can go to church during the pandemic. They control whether or not you can go out and your kids can get educated, or educated in person. Just think about it. Like, and I know that I'm not this. See, my channel is a balance. It's a balance. It's not going to be all about one thing. And the reason why is because I understand that you need to have a balanced life with relationships, financial talk, entertainment, travel, and information. But, it's just throughout. Here's the thing. The YouTube algorithm wants you, and I know I'm getting off a little bit, but the YouTube algorithm wants you to talk about one thing and one thing only, which makes it harder for channels like this to grow at the expensive rate as other ones. But I think it's very important that people understand that you have to have a balance of things. If you put too much of anything, if your channel is all about one thing, then you're not really giving out a full basis, in my opinion. But let me get back to some people questions, comments. Oh yeah, I got that one. All right, cool. So let me show some more stuff I want to see. Another thing is this. We already talked about how retirement is a scam. We already talked about how retirement in the United States is a scam. But how much time do you feel as though you need to give? And let me know what I'm gonna play some videos in the background that are monetizable, because I know you guys don't want to see my face. But how much time are you willing to give to spend it on things that are not financially educated, like buying a new car or buying a mansion and it's only you and maybe your wife and one kid? None of that stuff is going to help you get from underneath the servitude of the wealthy, of the financially educated people. And I know everybody is not going to like it, and it's not going to get, this conversation is not going to get to everybody. But I think that what the problem is with some of the leaders today is they focus on everybody, and you really can't. You really need to focus on just the people who get the message, the people who get the point, the people who are willing to cut out stuff that they know is not going to be a asset in the future. You know what I mean? I say like this. You know, they have assets and liabilities. An asset is something that makes you money. A liability is something that costs you money. But I'll break it down to even a deeper concept. There's mental, and then there's physical. I mean, then there's monetary, whatever. So physical, I mean, a monetary asset is something that makes you money. A monetary liability is something that costs you money. A monetary, physical, mental asset is something that gives you a peace of mind. A mental liability is something that takes a lot of room in your head and is not allowing you to process things in a manner. I feel as though you have to blend a little bit of both. You know what I mean? That's why even though a house that is not producing you income is a liability on the monetary side, it's an asset on the mental side because it gives you peace that you know you can't be kicked out. And a lot of people have to really, you just can't push it to people's heads enough to show them that financial education is everything. Like back in the day, right? And I'm gonna back in the day, people used to like for the black. I can only speak for the black culture because I come from the black culture. A lot of people and like your mothers and your fathers and your grandparents, they always say, go to church, you know, praise, be thankful for what you have, you know, focus on just being happy with what you have. And yes, that does play a part, but I feel as though in my mind, religion and church has really stopped the black people in general from achieving financial education and financial independence because it teaches you to be thankful for what you have and not as much as working harder for what you really want. And I know I'm mumbling on the words. I'm just trying to word it the correct way because I don't want to. I'm trying not to offend anybody because I know a lot of people are very strict with religion, but religion has done nothing economically to help black people in America, in the United States. I can only speak from the United States. Religion has done nothing economically to help black people in the United States. You go and you go to church, you're missing a whole day, a day that you could be working, a day that you could be with your kids, like just teaching them things that the school doesn't teach. Because see, there's a problem with everybody blaming the school, but then you're not teaching your kids outside of the school. So religion takes away from that. Religion, like church and all that stuff, or mosque, whatever you go to, that takes away from time that you could be focused on the one thing that matters the most in the world, and that's financial education. Because without that, like everything else can be controlled. Let me see. What's going on, Passport Stance? What it is? It says, I made $100K in the last 6 months being financially focused and financially educated. Everything you're saying is true. Yo, listen, man. Listen, this is what I'm talking about, man. I feel as though there are black people, and I can only speak for the culture I come from. There are black people who understand. There are black people who understand. A lot of them are like older, like me, like 35 and older. But there are others but the issue is we really need to come up with, and I don't like putting people in, I don't like having groups because the groups get controlled by whatever is the most possibleness, whatever is the most popular, and that's never a good thing. But it shows you there are other black people out there that are financially educated because it's bad. Religion is a disease. I won't say that because I do know that religion does help people in a mental aspect who may not be able to get over certain things themselves because of whatever their history is. However, I stand behind the fact that I believe religion is one of the things that has stopped black people from receiving financial education and financial independence in the United States. I mean, another thing is this. All right, we're gonna go over to the okay, we can go. Let's more into deep about that. I'll try to go too deep in that. The next thing I would say is love or lust. It's one thing for me, and everybody knows my page, and if you haven't just seen the past videos, I have a lot of women on my page. I have a lot of activities and times that I hung out with women, and it's a big thing on my page. However, it's not the only thing. And the reason why it's not the only thing is because I know that you need a balance. You can't, if you're all about falling in love and getting married, you're going to be financially hurt throughout a lot of stuff. And yes, I know they're going to say a lot of men who are married who build wealth with their spouse and it works out so well. Yeah, but 65% of marriages fail. And guess what happens when that marriage fails? As a man, you lose about 40 to 60% of your income, especially if you have kids. See, everything is set up for you not to be able to not be able to financially succeed if you're not financially educated. See, financially educated people do get married, but financially educated people sign prenups. Financially educated people sort out things beforehand at the worst cost. But there's not really anything in any school, anything that teaches you this. You have to learn from trial and error, unless you're one of the people like me who can learn from somebody else's mistake. And when it comes to love, or lust, here's the thing. That's what, you know how they say it's not simping if you got it. This is where I believe it comes from. I believe it comes from the fact that when you are given more than you can afford, that's not a financially educated decision. Thus, it would be simping. But if you can afford it and it doesn't hurt your pockets, it doesn't hurt what you do, then it wouldn't be the greatest financially educated, but it wouldn't hurt. So you really gotta think about financial education when it comes to everything. Everything. We talked about celebrity news, religion, love, lust, and let's not even get to politics. You see, one thing I think that older black folks and older black people who were in the civil rights movement and all the stuff that us older black folks went through, I think a big issue is that they didn't fight for the right thing. If they would have spent as much time fighting for financial education in the schools or financial education of their kids, of us, versus fighting for the right to actually vote or fighting for the right to actually live in a certain area, we would be so much further along. Because if we are financially educated, then we know how to spend our money, even if we only have a little bit of money. So what happens is that when you're not financially educated, you teach your kid, you need to go to school, you need to go to college, you need to become a doctor or engineer, or you need to become a lawyer. And you got this big career where you have all this money, but you're not financially educated, so you're spending your money wrong. You're going out and you're buying a Lexus, you're buying a new Benz, you're going out and you're buying a big mansion, and you're having 2, 3, 4 kids. None of this stuff is going to benefit your generational wealth. It's not going to benefit your kids because they're going to get this liability of a big mansion. They're going to get this liability of a car or a mentality that this is what I need to do. And they're going to go out and do the same thing you did and not produce any wealth. Not go buy land somewhere, not go buy houses that produce income, not go buy stocks that can build over time. They're not going to do any of that because we're so focused on, and it's because of and it's not all of our grandparents. My grandfather was very good with business, but it's because of our grandparents and our great grandparents and our great ancestors, because they mentally were not financially educated. And they put all of their hope into things like church or the community. Because here's the problem. Here's the problem, and this is another problem with the financially uneducated. Here's the problem. A community that comes together to build can work. But if that community in totality is not financially educated, well, it fails. And then you just wasted all your time. And I feel as though there's a lot of black communities around here that are not financially educated. And that's why I say you can't save all black people, man. You just can't, because everyone is not willing to do what Andre did. What they focused on the channel and do that and made $100,000 in 6 months. Everyone's not willing to take that money once they get it and invest it back into their business or invest it into other businesses that grow. And this is why at the top of the chart, I'm talking about there's financial education, there's religion, there's family, there's everything else is low. And I know a lot of people like, well, how do you put family under financial education? Let me explain to you. You're a millionaire, right? Your family doesn't want to follow the financially educated path. They do stuff that don't follow the financial educated path. And what do? Every now and then you say, you know, I'm going to help you out here. Dude, here's some money. Here's some money. Take that. And then after a while, they start coming to you for everything. And guess what happens to your income? Oh, we need to pay for this. Oh, can you help us out with this? Oh, the family wants to do this. And this is why you have to focus as an individual. You have to focus on your financial education. And this is, once again, financial education, religion, family. The only thing that's not below financial education, actually, it might be a little bit below, is health. And let me explain why I believe health is a little bit below, not all of it, but a little bit below financial education. Because if you're not financially educated, that means you won't be able to make any money. That means that when your health does get bad, you won't be able to go pay somebody to fix it. Do you see how financial education is financial education is always at the top? If your parents are old and they can't afford to live in a home by themselves, if you're financially educated, well, you can put them in a home. You can put them in their own place. But people just don't. People just don't get it, man. And people rather. And like I said, this is why my channel is not just for entertainment. It's educated as well. And a lot of people, it makes me kind of sad because I see a lot of other black men, black women create these channels where they talk about one thing. They talk about women. They talk about celebrity news. They talk about politics. They talk about, oh, what's wrong in America. They talk about, but that's all they talk about. They're not giving you no solution. You're not getting, it's saddening, man. But let me get to the questions, man. Gang relationships are more so a possibility. Keep your offspring set for the future. As elite, it depends. Okay, so yeah, I don't know the gang word, but I understand it. What he said. Your relationships play a strong role too, because if you have relationships with other financially educated people and you consistently, go back and forth with thoughts, you become more financially educated. Like, for example, I don't believe in the lifestyle that Boyce Watkins lives and a lot of stuff that he says. However, financial information, I'm always watching. I'm always watching. Claude Anderson, I always watch them. I watch old Malcolm X videos, but I don't really believe in everything that Malcolm X said before he went to Mecca. I don't believe that we need to separate because and become our own people first. I don't believe that. I don't believe that's the best way to financially make financially educated decisions. And but it's parts of people that I take from. So yeah. I understand the whole relationships. It's good to have relationships. White and black scripted division, all questions. See, I said it in one of my other lives. Before. Financial to make sure that blacks back in the day didn't get smarter, or get more financially educated. They wasn't allowed to read books. Then when they were allowed to read books, they weren't given the proper material to learn how to upstep in the community from poverty to lower middle class to middle class. They wasn't given that. Now everything's on the internet, so it's possible. However, the education in school became more than just for the black people. It came from for poor, for Latinos. It became for poor whites. It became from Asians and immigrants coming in. They were all given the same education of bad financial education, so that the people at the top always stay at the top. Now, am I going to say that's a wrong thing? If I was at the top, would I do the same thing? I don't know. Am I going to say because I don't think it's a wrong or a right thing. I think it's just a perspective thing. However, it is a thing. It is the way of life. So, like, you can accept it or not. It's going to always be this way. And the only way that you can even inch up a little bit is if you get financially educated. Slaves from Africa had their own religions before whites were forced them Christian. Yeah, that was true. That is true. At the same token, though, I don't think it's just specifically one religion. I don't believe it's just Christianity. I believe it's Islam. I believe it's Buddhism. I believe it's anything that doesn't focus on financial. If your religion doesn't focus on financial education, then that religion is a problem as well, to me. Because financial education is the number one thing in the world. So if what you believe in doesn't believe in that, then it's just doing more damage than help. It may mentally allow you to function and get through your life, but it's doing more damage than help because it's not giving you the hope and knowledge that there's a way up or how to way up. Prove any history to me, okay? I'm thinking the same thing. I'm so tired of not enjoying life as much as possible. I need to get more focused and financially smart. And here's the thing, I'm not telling people to just give up on all your desires and what you want to do. What I'm saying is that you need to make a balance of not you, but everyone needs to make a balance of what they should be. And at the top of their balance chart, that has the most space in it, it has to be financial education. It has to be understanding, okay, yes. Right now, most people make about $15 an hour. Let me break something down to y'all. You can go work at McDonald's. Right now, you can make $15 an hour at McDonald's, right? The minimum wage in the United States is $7.50, I believe, or $8, something like that. But the minimum wage around the world is something like $4. When you average it all out, it's something like $4. So that $15 that you make in the United States, once you start looking at people and learning about travel, learning about stuff like that, then even though you could save up. Let's say you're making $15 an hour, you don't have any kids, because it's a lot of stuff. It's different for everybody based on if you have kids, based on if you have wife, based on if you have a lot of debt, based on if you have a college debt, college loans or stuff. All that's going to change for everybody. But just for the basic single person with no kids, if you stack that money and you just was able to stack $5,000 a year, right? Follow me. 10 years, you have $50,000, right? $50,000, you could take that money and you can buy it. You can put it as a down payment for a multi-family property where you're gonna live in the basement and rent up the first 2 floors, so you're not paying any rent and you're getting income from it. That's in the United States. Here's another option. You can take that $50,000 and go buy a condo in Mexico, full cash, buy a studio apartment in a safe part of Cancun, of Playa del Carmen, of Tulum, $50,000, and now you have a place that you can go that you don't have to pay nothing ever again. You save the $50,000 for another 10 years. That $50,000 will last you, if it invested properly in the stocks or something like that. That $50,000 will last you the rest of your life in Mexico if you're living there rent free. If you're living it, people don't. It's so many options out here, but the people who the older, and I always blame the older black people because they never taught us this, because they never went to try to explore. But see, us young millennials, us millennial black people, we explore the world, so we know our options. We explore outside of our state, outside of our cities, outside of our side of the coast. So we know these options that you can do. Anything is possible. You can take that $50,000. You can go to Colombia. You can get a condo, maybe $60,000. Get a condo in Colombia, and then your taxes are only like $1,000 a year, and then you own the condo. It's so many options that you have, but like the most important thing is that people have to start thinking more long term. Don't think, okay, I'm broke now, I don't get that much money, I got to pay all these bills. No, how much can I invest? How much can I put away? Can I put away $100 a month? Because $100 a month might seem like nothing, but that's really like $1,200 a year. You know what I mean? $1,200 a year might not be nothing, but in 10 years, that's $10,000. You can do something with that. Damn, I didn't even get what's going. Yeah, earning money. What's going? What it do? What it do? What love got to do with it, man? Listen, man, it's just so many distractions. We didn't even get to the pandemic yet. Like I'm gonna put the link in the room because we're over 20 minutes. Like I said, I don't want to go. I'm not going over an hour in this, but I just want to talk about the subject and see if anybody got any comments they wanted to come in with. Hi, and invite, copy the clipboard. I'm gonna put the link in the room. Anybody want to come in and give any ideas on the distractions and And like it's just so crazy because we let other black people like really on you or other black people mostly on YouTube. We allow our minds to want to just keep watching the same stuff. And I say we because as a whole, even though I don't, we mean the majority of us. The majority is we. So we allow like, and it's so crazy. Like the channel will have like 200, 300,000 subscribers, but no information to help the people that look like you get better or find a way out. And it's just it's wild, man. Salute, Travel Squad. What's going on, man? I gotta disagree. Some religions are more hardcore than others. The main ones, Christianity, Islam, are brainwashing. But it's not the matter of how hardcore or how much that religion brainwashes people. It's just that when your religion doesn't put financial education at the top, it's going to always not be the best beneficial thing because financial education. Think about this. If I know that the world is controlled, meaning they do whatever they want to do and we have to be servants to them, by the people who are financially educated, and I have a religion, and my religion isn't showing you how to get financially educated, well, then my religion is teaching people how to be a slave. It's teaching people how to be a servant for the rest of their lives. How is that the best benefit for the person? It's not. If you're not teaching me how to become the people who control the world so that I can control myself at least, or control my environment and how I move, please tell me how you're not making me a slave. So for me, in my opinion, my perspective, every religion is just as bad as the next religion. When it comes to not that. Education is powerful. A lot of knowledge was hidden in books, facts. And back in the day, we would get lynched for reading books. Let that sink in. Yes, listen, it's the same now, but now it's more of a psychological game. You see, and it's not just blacks anymore. Now it's poor whites, it's Latinos, it's immigrants, it's everyone. Nowadays, it's different, but it's the same. Yes, we used to get lynched for reading because they didn't want us to succeed. Now they don't have to lynch us anymore. They just don't give us the information. And then for the people who say, you know what, I'm going to go out on the internet and get the information. As soon as they go on the internet, look, wow, I want to do this. I want to do it so bad. And I no disrespect for anybody, but no offense, but whatever. And I'm gonna add Travel Squad to the stream. Hold on, Travel. But I just want to show you this. We're gonna get hit right now. This is based on what I watch, right? Let's see how many of I'm not gonna go. This is based on what I watch. Let's see how many videos can educate me on something that's gonna happen. That's something that's gonna be positive. Just on what they pushed out to me. Just on what YouTube pushed out to me with a random thing. T.I.'s music. F him. How's that gonna help me? This will help me because this is teaching me about Salam in Africa and stuff like that. This will help me. This will help me too, right? But then it pushes out this. That's not going to really help me because it's talking about celebrity news. This right here, it can help me, but it's not really. It's not really beneficial to financial education for me. That I listen to music. This ain't gonna help me, and this is based on my subscribers. But I'm who I'm subscribed to. But I'm just saying, like, it's just a small sample size of what YouTube pushes out based on what I follow. And I follow a lot of people I subscribe, but it doesn't cost me to subscribe. Some people I just show support to. But this is what YouTube pushes out for me to understand. Sometimes I get lucky, I ran through it. We're on the brink of this, I can find Meet Kevin or something like that. But then most of the stuff is celebrity news, music, celebrity news, celebrity news, celebrity news, celebrity news. It's like, yo, come on, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But Travel Squad, what's going on? Welcome to the building, man.
What's going on, fam? I want to say what's good with you, man, and keep putting out all that good info, man. You're doing a great job out there, brother.
Appreciate you, man. What you think? What do you think about this? The distractions? Do you think like the distractions are out there because it's just the circumstances because of the situation we're in now, or you think is that there's actually people out there who keep putting these distractions out to stop you from getting financially educated?
And to be honest, man, you know what I'm saying? This is a day and age right now. This is a good money time right now. You know what I'm saying? The game is to be sold, not told. And this is why I rock with you, because you've been getting out information from day one. Like, if I want to know something about a city, or even if you want to know something, I put the stuff out there for free. We just doing it, you know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to educate other people. And you put it out there for free, man, and that's why I rock with your channel, to be honest with you. You help a lot of people, bro. You help a lot of people, man. And salute to you.
I do it because I want other people. First of all, I do it because I want my kids to, if anything ever happens to me, to see that, you know, it's a different way to think. It's a different way of life. Secondly, it's some people like you out there, some people like me, that's like us out there, that just, we get barraged with all these channels that's talking about the same thing all the time. Let's talk about, you know, the men and the women. Let's talk about the celebrity news. Let's talk about religion. Let's talk about politics. Let's talk about the pandemic. And we get you know, barraged with all these channels that keep talking about the same thing. And it's like there's never a black person or a minority person that sits there and actually talks about stuff that can really benefit us as a people. So I figure the more I talk about it, the more other people may want to talk about it, but maybe not, because it costs views. It definitely costs views, but you know.
No, I think you're doing a great job, man. It just, you know, it comes with the territory, because you know, a lot of these travel channels, they'll sit up there and talk about generalized statements. I don't want to hear about generalized information when I'm traveling. If I'm traveling to Colombia, tell me how much a taxi from Central to the airport might cost, or this and that. Tell me information. That's free information. A lot of people just skip straight to the women, and they still don't tell you information. They're beating around the bush about stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's my thing is, it's like you got to feed your mind like a healthy diet. And when I'm learning information online, I want to hear people that are talking facts, like you talk facts. You talking about money right now. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense to me. So I just want to hear things that are just informational to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How I can learn. And hey, I give it back to the world. If I learn something, if I go somewhere, price is one price, and it's not supposed to be that price, I'll tell everybody, hey, y'all, don't pay that price.
Yeah. Bam. Mess up the economy. Oh, shout out to Andre and Santo Domingo. Okay. I know they was in Colombia, and then they went to Santo Domingo, and they earn money. He's in DR right now. He said just about brought another property in DR. Santo Domingo estate around 12 minutes from Boca Chica, 10 minutes. See, that's awesome, man. See, this is what they need to see. Like, people come to my channel, they hear me talk, they hear the guests that I have up, and then you see somebody that's doing something that you may want to do. Now, right now, all y'all gotta do, if y'all want to know more information about buying a place in DR, y'all can go there and just send them a message, or send them a message in the room and ask them. See, that's why I talk about this, because there are people who are doing what I'm saying all over the world. And shout out to Earn Money, man.
And just to let y'all brothers know, man, if y'all do not own real estate and y'all are pushing like 35, 40, it's not too late right now. You want to go ahead and buy right now, because you know what I'm saying? That's what creates generational wealth. You want to pay off your house before you retire. I just want to throw that out there in the atmosphere.
I was watching Robert Kiyosaki's from Rich Dad Poor Dad's interview with I believe Brandon Turner from Bigger Pockets, and he said one thing that was kind of like, okay, this is dope. And I watched the McDonald's thing too. And he said, what business is McDonald's in? And somebody said selling hamburgers, and the McDonald's owner said, we're not into selling hamburgers. We're into real estate. The purpose is to create. The purpose is to create a business to buy real estate, because real estate is long lasting. Create stocks to get money to buy real estate, because land is limited. Use your 401k to stack your bread and then borrow it to buy real estate, because at the end, real estate is
that money factor is eliminated. That's how you create generational wealth. And that's why I've been liking what you've been talking about, bro. I've been listening, watching it. You spitting out facts, man. I hope people catch it, because I caught it. I mean,
see, that's the one thing that's why I don't force people. That's why my channel is not all about that. because I don't want to. People are gonna get it when they get it. You can, no matter how much I'm saying it now, it might not click in nobody's head. It might not click in nobody's head. But then 5 years from now, they may just go back and like, oh snap, I hear what he's talking about. I can do this stuff now. I mean, they might not be able to do it now, so they can hear it, but it's just not clicking.
That's all they need is that plant sown. You know what I'm saying? That's like my cousin, man. My cousin, me and him talk every single day. And you know, I bought my first house when I was 28. But he's 42 right now. Now he's talking about buying a house. And I'm like, bro, it's not too late. Just go ahead and get it. That's how you create generational wealth. And that's the type of stuff you're doing. But you're putting this stuff to like you're going on a whole different tangent with this. You're saying, hey, buy land in different places. Like that was dope how you bought a property in Miami. You're gonna be down there anyway. So and look, when you go down there, now you don't have to pay for them expensive hotels.
Exactly. And on top of that, I can write off all the money. I write off all the money that it cost me to get down there on my YouTube. So whatever I make from YouTube, I write it off based on the travel, the plane tickets, the half of the mortgage, because I consider half of it is the office. It's benefits to that. But let me answer Mac Marzella. He says, "Yo, can you talk about buying a place for $50,000 and never having to worry about a place to live again? I'm trying to get a place now, but I really don't want to city. I really do want to live in my city. You gotta let me know what city you live in, Mac." He said, "I want to travel." So here's the thing. We gave a brief summary, but I'm going to try to go into a little bit more detail with how you can do it now. And you know what? Let's do this together. Let's do this together. We're going to open up the screen. We're going to do this together. And like I said, we got time, so we can do this together. We got to go over an hour a little bit. We'll do this together. The first thing you would do is, and I'm just saying your city. I don't know your city. Let me see if Max said a city yet. So I'm going to use my city. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. So let's just say Newark, New Jersey, right? Let me share the screen, and then we go to, first thing you're going to do is this. You have $50,000, right? $50,000. You go to realtor.com. Homes for sale, right? This is where I get most of my places from, realtor.com. And I'm going to say Newark. And my city is going to be more expensive because it's New Jersey. New Jersey expensive. We're going to go to Newark, New Jersey. We're going to go to search, right? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to property type, right? I'm showing you guys how $50,000 can make it so that you never have to pay rent again. So you go to multifamily houses, right? And you press done. So now, here's one thing. You have to know the area, because you don't want to get in an area that you don't know whether or not it's safe or not. I know my city, Newark, New Jersey. I'm familiar with the different areas of Newark and what is a good place to live. So I'm going to pick out the good places. So there may be places that are cheaper, like this place right here with $200,000, which may be cheaper, but I understand that 8th Street in Newark is not a good street to own property on. But if we wanted to get something cheaper, we can do the 20,000. I need my phone because I want to use my calculator.
Hey, Flyboy, let me throw this in. Unless they're slowly gentrifying the area, they're buying them out.
Certain places, yes, certain places.
I gotta throw that in there, man, because right now you can buy places in the hood right now, and they're slowly but surely they're gentrifying them right now. Yeah, so y'all watch out for that too.
The thing, you got to factor. But the thing about living there and us knowing, that's why I said you got to know, Mac. You got to know what city, your city, the way I know my city. The thing about that is that because I know and I move around the city, I know what areas may look like they're the hood and they're not really the hood, but they're going to blow up. So what I'm going to say is this. All right, let's just do this $200,000 one for it, and then we'll go to one in the good areas. Let's say you go for this $200,000 property, right? So $200,000, right? You need to leave down because you're going to live in it, right? You're going to live in the basement and you're going to rent. Wait, this is a 3-bedroom? Hold on a second. Is this a 3-family? No. Wait. Oh no. I mean.
So he's considering that his primary residence.
Right. It's a primary residence. I'm gonna show him how to break it down with 50,000. All right. I just want to know if it's property details. Is it 2-family or 3-family? Or 3-family? It's a short sale. We're not even gonna count that because that's a short sale. Short sales don't really. They don't really. It's a long process. So let's just look for something that's in the area. Okay, here's a better one: 300,000, right? So this is a 300,000. This is a $300,000 house, right, in Newark, New Jersey. Baldwin is not too. It's kind of bad. Well, in comparison, but let's just do this one just to have some first, and then we'll go look at some more details. I don't know if people have got any questions. I'm gonna get to the questions, everybody. But we're just working with this with Mac's statement right here because he wants to know this right here. So 50,000. All right. So let's go back. 300,000, right? Times. I'm not gonna say 3.5 because the lowest you can leave down is 3.5. However, when you leave 3.5% down when you buy the house, sometimes they make you pay PMI, which is a mortgage insurance, which is going to cost you a little bit more per month. However, if you leave 5% down,
I want to add 5%, 5 to 10% down. If he's talking about a conventional loan right now,
right? He's talking about a owner home, a home occupant home.
Like primary residence.
Right.
I'm trying to help you out, brother. That's it. Just a little bit.
You're definitely right. If you put down 5 to 10%, there is a way, and it's simple, that you can get a conventional loan, which means you have no PMI, no private mortgage insurance on it. So now, 5% of $300,000 is $15,000. So the down payment would be $15,000. If you add another $12,000 to that, because that's what you're going to pay in closing costs, you're going to pay at least $12,000 in New Jersey. You add another $12,000 to that, that's $27,000. So now, if you have $27,000, and yes, you still have to have good credit, you still have to have a low debt to income ratio, but if you have $27,000, you can buy this place. And then, or if you have a 50, you put another 10,000 into it to fix it up, maybe another 20,000 to fix it up. And then you've only spent $47,000. And now you have a 2-family house. I don't know if you can live in the basement of this one, but you have a 2-family house where it's 6 bedrooms? Let me see. Let's see what it is. It's with a 2-car garage. Where you can park your car. Let's see how many bedrooms it is. Let's see how many bedrooms it is. Why does it say studio?
And that's very smart what you're thinking of, because like down south, we don't have places like that. So you're saying basically rent out half the duplex, sell the other half of the duplex.
When I sell, but
rent them out for money.
It's called house hacking. However, it's house hacking to an extreme. House hacking is when you have a duplex or a triplex and you live in one of the units. What I'm talking about is extreme, but if you have the money, if you have the 50,000, you can do it. Like this is a 3-family house, right? Which means that most likely, let's say you can live in the basement, or even if you live on the 3rd floor, right? Your mortgage is going to be, let's see how much your mortgage is going to be, monthly payment. Your mortgage is going to be probably like $2,000 a month. That's because we're gonna add some more stuff into it. Let's say your mortgage is $2,000 a month, right? For a 3-family house, which is 2 bedrooms each. Yeah, 2 bedrooms each thing. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath each thing. You're going to get $1,400 for the 1st floor, $1,400 for the 2nd floor. Let's not even say 14. You'll get $1,200 at the lowest. At the lowest, you get $1,200 for the 1st floor, $1,200 for the 2nd floor, and then you live on the 3rd floor, right? So now your mortgage is $2,000. You're getting $2,400 from your 2 tenants. That means you're making $400 a month, and you live free on the 3rd floor. Now you can travel the world. I mean, of course you ain't gonna go that far with $400 a month, but you can travel the world and always be able to come back to your place because your place is already paid for and you're living rent free. See, let
me add. If you're a veteran and you don't use a conventional loan, you do a VA loan. Bruh, that is the way to make that. He's talking about some smart stuff. I never thought about that. See, I had a girlfriend that did exactly what he's talking about right now. She got properties right now, and she owns, like, she stays on the 1st floor, and she rents the property out.
Right.
And I was like, I guess where I live at, we call that like rooming houses or boarding houses or whatever. I don't know the name, but that's smart.
That's another way. If you rent rooms, that's another way also. But if you get something like this, and this is a random one I picked out, just a random one I picked out, 300,000, and you with 47,000, you put 15,000 down for the down payment, 12,000 for closing. That's a total of 27,000. You put $20,000 worth of work into it, because let's say you want to fix it up the way you want to fix it up, furniture and all that stuff. You still have $3,000 left from your original 50,000, and now you're living free on the third floor while you're renting out the two, making $400 a year. That's easy. That easy. And even
if you're a vet, you're not putting nothing down.
Exactly.
In there.
Even if this was a bad area, guess what? even if this was a bad area, you still getting rent, because you can either get rent from the government, or you can get rent from your tenants. You're still getting that $1,200, and that's the low end. That's the low end of rent. 12 for a 2-bedroom and with a bathroom. No. That's the low end, and you living free. But see, this is not what they teach in schools. This is what you have to go searching for. But when you go on the internet, when you go on YouTube, they're gonna pop up all this entertainment stuff. You're not gonna find this. You're not gonna see my video explaining this. And that was just how that. Let me get to Muhammad. Muhammad said, "What's up, Fresh? You can invest in dividend-paying stocks. If you invest 50K at 5,000, you get 200 a month. Well, that's dog. That's nice. Living free in Mexico. Then you could risk 10% returns for double your money." More or add more 50K. I like Muhammad. I like that once you have a place like this where you're living free. The reason why I wouldn't do that if I didn't have a place where I was living free yet is simply because then you have to pay rent. And rent is going to be expensive in the United States right now. Unless you live in a suburban town in the middle of America, rent is going to be on average like $1,200. So,
and you know what? To be honest, right now is the wrong time to buy. This is a seller's market right now. It's the wrong time to buy right now. If you're looking to buy,
well, here's the thing. For me, I don't ever think that there's a wrong time. I just think it's harder. It's definitely harder to find a deal. Like, this is just something we found. Like, this looked so easy. The way we did it here, it looks so easy. But we don't know how much damage is in this house. I estimated $20,000. I don't know how much damage is in this house, but I just showed you how it's still possible for you to do that. And I mean, this house doesn't look like it needs that much work, but we don't see it on the inside. So that's basically what I'm saying. But yes, $200 a month free to live in off of 50 is good, but you got to have a place in the States where you can come back to where you don't have to pay anything. That's the most.
No, you have to have a base camp. Like, I've seen a lot of guys that say they travel and then they act like when they come back to the United States, they have nowhere to live. So now they got to rent out an apartment. That's way more expensive than mortgage. And I tell guys all the time, I'm like, nah, bro, you have to have somewhere to call your base camp. Like, I got my home and 2 other homes. I can go anywhere I want to go. But these guys that are just living out there and they don't really have nowhere to come back to. I said, man, you're going to be in I wouldn't recommend that. I'd just be like that. And let me just throw my expertise back in there. You know, I went to real estate school. That's why I'm talking to you.
Right.
But I also got my degree and other stuff. But that's what I'm saying. I know some of the numbers and this and that. You're doing the right thing, what you're telling the people, man. You got to have somewhere to come back to, man. Yeah, not only that, have your own base camp. So it's nice that you did. I like the way that you live in New Jersey, right? You come down and vacation in Florida.
Right.
Now you don't have to pay a hotel costs. That's smart. That is smart. Very kudos to you, bro.
I like to show by action. Like we talk about this a lot, but I show people by my action. That's why, unlike, I mean, I don't want to come off like I'm dissing anybody, but that's why my channel, you don't just see all my videos just me talking in rooms, because that right there, and you don't see all my videos just me vlogging. It's a mixture of vlogging and sitting in a room talking and giving you information, more details, because I think that you need the balance. You need that balance. Without that balance, I feel as though I wouldn't give out the proper guide or the proper talk, because I feel as though if I show you everything and you just gotta assume how everything is, you can mess it up. If I just tell you all this stuff and you gotta think that, oh, maybe he's telling the truth because he don't ever go nowhere, he don't ever show, all he does is sit in his office or sit in the room in front of the YouTube and does that, it won't work either. So I give you guys a balance. But Passport Stamp said, Travel Squad and Flyboy, you guys are always dropping free gems. I love both of you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Salute to you, fam. Salute to you.
Fresh, definitely start looking into investing and buying an apartment in Medellin, Colombia. I was definitely motivated by you buying. Yo, listen, man. Once you got a place where you can go during the pandemic, I was mentally floating on cloud nine. That's why I was able to do everything I was doing and making money on YouTube and traveling all over the place during the pandemic, going internationally, because mentally New Jersey was locked down. It was depressing. It was depressing. If you see some of my videos, it was depressing. And I wasn't depressed. It was depressing being stuck in New Jersey where everything is locked down. You can't do nothing. But then what gave me the freedom was that on the weekends, I just go to Miami. That's the type of freedom that you get from financial education. And what you're doing in Medellin is the same thing as the start. Like, I don't understand the whole Airbnb thing that people do in Medellin, but I do know that they make money off of it, where they go buy Airbnb for the year and they rent it out to other travelers because they know it's guest friendly. They sublease it to other. All that stuff works. You just got to know how to work it, man.
And that's I want to drop a gem on y'all real quick. That's a whole entirely different situation buying international right now, because a lot of, I'll say this because I know this. I know brothers that got properties in like Asia.
Right.
Can't nobody travel there right now. They are stuck.
They're stuck.
Hold on. Let me drop this right now. If y'all are into the real estate market, hopefully y'all pulled out today, because if y'all seen what's going on in China right now, all the networks were down today. So, so all you stock brothers, man, hopefully y'all pulled out your profits, man, and then we just wait another time, wait for the dip and reinvest. And I'll leave it alone with that.
That's what I was talking about before when I said I actually had a live literally like 2 weeks ago when Bitcoin and Ethereum was all up, and I said I'm pulling mines out to take from the 10% to the 5% because I know something's gonna happen, and boom. Wait.
No, I watched you. You did a video about it was about 4 months or 5 months ago when you was that's how I've been watching you forever, man. I've been watching you forever, but it's all good, man. But what I'm saying today is that hopefully, man, they got something going on in China, man, and a lot of these stocks. The Dow, everybody took a hit today. I pulled my money out Friday, just to let y'all know.
Hey, look,
man, I'll see it coming.
Hey, Mac, I don't really know about Chicago, Mac. But I would presume Chicago is a little rough, but anything is possible. As you say, I just pulled up in Newark, New Jersey, and I pulled it up. So I'm sure you can do the same thing in Chicago that I just did in Newark. Might be a little bit harder, but if you know Chicago, you know the good areas in Chicago, and you know 53rd. So
thanks for my dad, man. Some of you like my cousin, he just him and his team of investors, they just went and bought a couple houses in Detroit. That's what I'm talking about, regentrification. Detroit is one of the poorest cities right now, but see, don't let that slip, because what they're doing right now is that they're going to end up buying up all them properties and then turn it into a mega city.
Here's the thing. It's
the best.
If you have the money to sit on it, it's always worth it. If you have the money to buy the properties when they're low and to sit on it so things get revitalized or gentrified, you can make a big buck. But you have to have the money to sit on it. You have to be financially educated to not panic when things happen. And that's a big part of it. Facts, brothers. China, what you think China doing all over the world buying properties? Listen, China took a different route than the United States in my mind. They took more of a totalitarian route where they educated all of their citizens. They educated all of them. But they just said, I guess because it's communist or whatnot, but even though they educated all their citizens, they can't really do much. But when they do get out of the States, they can go out and buy everything. You'll see all the Chinese coming to every single country, to Africa, buying all of Africa, to America.
Hey, let me add this too. No, as far as the real estate, what China did was that United States forced the military and everybody. China they didn't force. They gave you real estate. They said, hey, we'll give money to Africa. Let us rebuild. They said, hey, Afghanistan, we're going to build the new Silk Road. It's real estate to them. China is buying up everything. It's just watch the news and you'll see. It's just little by little and just watch. China is real estate incorporated right now. Akon, where did he get that money from? China.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I watch little stuff like that, but I'm not gonna talk about that on your channel. But hey, what you're doing is a good job. Good job, brother.
I believe when Earn Money says when you buy a property or a business, you get your residence fast in the DR. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's, you guys know I don't, the island thing is not for me, but it's still a way. It's definitely still a way. Ali Parker says, I just listed a property and it is not moving yet. I think I'm about renting it out and then doing the refinance, or I can make sure I cover the repair costs with little profit. If it's a one-family house, it could be more difficult to rent. However, with the prices right now still going up and it being like Travel said, it being a seller's market, it really depends. It really depends. If you already have a place that you can rent and you can live rent-free, then I would just say sell a house, get a condo somewhere out of the country that you can do, or get a condo in Miami where you can go and retire. However, if you don't have a place that you can live rent-free, I would consider refinancing it, taking that money, fixing it up, and then any extra money that you have, then trying to stack that to buy your next house. And then try to just wait, or hold that money so you can rent it out. Like hold that money to pay your bills while you're looking for somebody to rent it out. It really depends where your property is at.
And for some of you other brothers that are out there that own properties, if you don't mind me adding, Flyboy, let me tell y'all what is a safe bet right now. Now, I would not rent out a damn $250,000 house, but if I had a damn $70,000 house, $60,000 house, my market will be towards Section 8. Because, like right now, everybody that's renting to Section 8, they're safe. The government is going to pay you every time, the same time all month. Even though that resident might not be able to pay you a little bit extra, Section 8 will pay you your money every single month. So my family has different properties they rent out to Section 8. They don't care if they can't pay or not. They're going to get paid by the government.
Yeah. No,
so I want to drop that out there. You got to pick and choose your poison, man. Like if I had a damn $250,000 property, no, I'm not renting out to Section 8. Nah, but a $67,000 property, yes, sir.
Yeah, like
I rent it all day to y'all.
You have with those properties in Section 8 tenants though, you have to have patience. If you don't have patience, I wouldn't renting out because the government's going to make you do a lot of stuff. Like my brother had 2 Section 8 houses where he was making money off of it, but he didn't really have the patience to keep the houses. So he sold.
You gotta have locks. You gotta have locks. You gotta have windows. They come there and inspect the home. It's a lot, but the thing is that it's guaranteed government money, so it doesn't matter if that person says, "Hey, I can't come up with the other 250." It doesn't matter. You're still getting a grand.
Still getting a grand.
They'll pay you eventually because they want to live there.
Yeah, Earn Money says a refinance works if you can get a lower rate than what you're paying in your current mortgage. Yes, a low rate. Yeah, definitely, man. With home. Are you going to buy any cheap crypto? No, I'm holding off on crypto right now, man. I sold most of my crypto when Bitcoin hit 50,000. When I think Ethereum was at 30. I mean, 38. I think or 39. I sold most of it. I'm only 5% into crypto right now. I don't want to add to my crypto right now. I do want to still add to my stock as the price is falling because I think it's going to go back up. But I'm holding off at 5% of crypto for me.
And you know what? Let me just tell y'all what crypto, man. See the market, the stock market closes at what? 4:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30.
4:30. Yeah.
It opens at 9 o'clock, right?
Right.
Crypto keeps trading all night. Let me tell y'all what happened to me. I had a whole bunch of money invested, and then one night it just dropped. I lost like $700, $800 at one time.
Yeah, it's tough.
I was pissed. I was like, "What just happened?" So, man, you gotta watch this one like a hawk, man. I'm more into stocks. I'm not doing that crypto stuff, man. It's a highly volatile market, and if you put your money in that, you gotta watch it like a hawk, man. You have to be up.
All right, let me read what Muhammad says. Let me play devil's advocate. Okay, let's play. He says, when you buy that property, you're in a contract for years, 30 years. Yes. You don't see returns until the mortgage is paid back. I don't know about that one. And you live with total strangers in the house. See, 2 things. I don't know. I have a different perspective on that. When you say you don't see returns until the mortgage is paid back, here's where it differs in my perspective. or from my perspective, if my mortgage is $1,500 and I'm getting $2,400 in rent, although I still owe the rest of that mortgage, for that month, only $1,400 is owed. And so that $2,400 that I'm getting for having tenants for that mortgage, minus that $1,400, would give me $1,000 a month. That $1,000 doesn't have to go to the bank until next month when the 14 is ready and I get another 24. So where you say you don't see returns, I say every month you see a return. That's how I say it. As far as living with total strangers in a house, here's another thing that I would consider, why I would consider it differently. If you live in an apartment building, you have an apartment. If there are multiple apartments in that building, technically you live with other strangers. The house is not connected. Multifamily houses are not connected, meaning my apartment and my house and the tenant's apartment are two separate apartments. They don't have access to my apartment. I don't have access to their apartment unless it's an emergency. So I would also say living with strangers in the house is not the same thing.
If you don't mind, I want to throw this in there too. So if your monthly rent is if your mortgage is $1,400, right,
mm-hmm.
and you're collecting rent from other tenants right now, anything you're paying right now is going to go to the principal.
Right.
See, so what a lot of people don't know is that a house like this right now, it's listed at $300,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if it has a 30-year mortgage, 25-year mortgage, 20-year mortgage. By the time you end up paying out that house, you would have paid about almost $1 million for a 30-year loan.
You pay.
So you have to pay on the interest.
You pay like
you have to pay on the interest. But I mean, not the interest. You got to pay on the principal.
Right. Well, here's the thing. After paying 30 years, you would have paid something like $520,000 altogether. However, you, the buyer, wouldn't have paid anything. Your tenants would have paid that, and that's where a lot of people sometimes fall off because they think it's money that I have to pay. But when you have tenants, you're not paying that; they're paying that, and then you get to write everything off. It's different, man.
And you know what? I'm only saying that because my mom bought her house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she paid it off within 10 years. I was still in high school, and she had a mortgage, right? She was paying everything. Her mortgage was, let's just say her mortgage was $900, right?
Mm-hmm.
She could afford to pay $1,800. She paid it off, a 30-year mortgage in 10 years. She saved a lot of money, bro. A lot of money. That's what my mom is mad at me right now. My mom was like, "Why didn't you?" She's like, "You've been in your property almost 2 years. Why didn't you pay it off?" I was like, "Well, Mom, I was just paying the damn what I owe." She's like, "No, don't do that. Pay more towards your principal."
Both of those strategies are good. The only thing I would have with that strategy is if I'm not financially educated, I would suggest paying your house off as fast as possible. But when you're like extremely financially educated, you understand that the money that you're paying over, if you invest that money, you would make more money than the interest that you're paying in your house. And when your tenants are paying the house, this is different from a single family house or a condo. But when your tenants are paying that, then it's not the same because it's not coming out of your pocket.
I agree with that. Correct.
Ali Parker, though, you have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom duplex, meaning that each duplex has 3-2. I don't know where you're at, Ali, but I would definitely not sell that. I don't know where you're at, but I would definitely not sell, unless you're in the middle of Chicago in the hood or Detroit or I can't even see a place where I would sell at.
Now, right now it's a seller market. It's a seller's market right now, man. And I'm always saying that because I'm in the real estate.
Mm-hmm.
My family's in the real estate. You can right now, if you're trying to look to rent somewhere, it costs a lot.
Yes.
Right now.
Here's the thing. If you have a one family, I can understand wanting to sell it. But he has a duplex. Duplexes are always going to keep their value because they're going to cash flow. People always need a place to live. As Travel just said, rents are going up. So the one thing I would not ever sell unless it was an emergency would be a duplex or a triplex or quadplex at any time, because those prices are going to keep going up. And if they don't go up, even when that price goes down, you still get the same amount of rent. So your cash flow is still positive. So,
it's a cash cow.
Right, exactly. So Ollie Parker, I couldn't imagine the reason to sell. Would I buy? Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell that I would buy a property in China, simply because China's laws are just too strict. I believe China is communist, right? Travel.
Hey, I'm gonna say this for Asia too, for some of you brothers that are out there that want to know. If you buy land in, let's say the Philippines right now, the Filipino family, even though you bought the land, they have more access to the land than you. They own the land. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They can divorce you, and then you will not own nothing. But condos is different. If you try to buy a house in Asia, that family that is from that island, they can divorce you and take your land from you. That's why I'm against all this. I don't talk about international households, because I know what I know. That's even in Hawaii right now. I grew up in Hawaii. A lot of people don't know is that you can buy a house in Hawaii, you own the house, you don't own the land. So what happens if they sell the land? If you're not a Hawaiian national.
Right.
And that's a state in the United States. It's a 50th state. A lot of people don't understand that. I know that because I grew up there 8 years. You can own the house, you cannot own the land. It's the same thing in Asia right now.
Yeah, I heard the same thing in the Philippines. Cool Cat. Yeah. Here's the thing, Cool Cat. It's always a great time to buy if you find the deal. Excuse me, a deal. Will a bubble ever burst in real estate? Maybe in a single family real estate it may burst. Maybe in condos it may burst, but it's going to be hard because of so many people who are being educated through this pandemic. It's going to be hard to imagine the multifamily real estate going to a burst, because here's the thing. If it cash flows, why would I sell it? Everyone's going to think the same way. But single family may burst, what you want to call it. I live in the DC area. I don't know if I should buy or wait. Like I said, if you can find a deal, always buy. My credit score is 804. Don't waste that. And I have the down payment, but the market is at its peak. Don't worry about what they're saying about the market being at the peak. Don't worry about the price of the place. See if the place cash flows, because that's all that matters. A duplex that cash flows. And if you can get a duplex that cash flows where you can live in the basement and separate the electricity and separate the stuff, the utilities, then you need to get on that, man. Don't worry about the price or nothing. Just worry about whether or not it cash flows.
Hey, I want to add to that right now. If you buy now, I mean, right now is a seller's market right now. I don't know if I would buy right now, but if you can find a good deal, buy. As long as that investment is going to generate more investment, you're good to go.
Bingo.
So, like, if you're like in an HOA or something like that, that's never going to go down. HOAs are hell. Yeah. I got like 2 properties in the HOA. They're hell, but their property value never goes down.
Right.
It's always up.
Like if it's your first house, Cool Cat, you could get a condo with the HOA, but I would be cautious of getting the HOA for your first place. Definitely cautious.
Yeah, HOAs are hell, bro.
Yeah, man.
They're hell.
All right, Muhammad Ali says, so you take the extra money the tenant gives you above your mortgage, say $1,000 extra, yes, and stack it up for the deposit on another property or pay the same mortgage. Here's the thing that and that's what Travel and I were just discussing. Both options are viable. Both options you can do. It really depends on how financially educated you are. If you feel as though you're going to spend that money the wrong way and do that, then yes, put that extra $1,000 back into the house and pay the principal. Back into the principal and then pay the principal down faster and maybe do it in 15 years. However, if you feel as though you can consistently not panic and just and consistently be able to get that $1,000 a month, take that $1,000 and just sit it in the stock market, little by little, put that money into the stock market until you can find another deal. Don't
ETF.
Don't
ETF, a safe deal. Do S&P 500 ETF.
Yeah, something like
don't mess with them volatile stocks.
Yeah, don't get something like ETF, or if you don't look at stocks that much, look at something like an ETF or mutual fund, because here's the thing: you want to make sure your money is building money while it's sitting in it. If you put it in the bank, it ain't gonna make enough interest, and it's not gonna be worth what it needs to be worth when you take it out to buy a house. You put it in a mutual fund, you put it in something like that, it's gonna be worth it more. So yes, those are the two options, and both of them are viable. It just really depends on your level of stress and your financial education.
And I want to throw this in there too. If you put your money in an ETF or them S&P 500, like your bank account, imagine you got thousands of dollars in your bank account right now.
Mm-hmm.
They only give you 0.0003%. Your ETF is going to give you more than that, and they give you a dividend.
7 to 8, yeah. Muhammad, instead of Jersey, can you do the same in Playa del Carmen? Can you Airbnb tenants pay above the monthly mortgage rate? And here's the thing, Muhammad, as a United States citizen, you cannot get credit to buy a mortgage. I mean, or rather, get a mortgage to buy a house in Playa del Carmen in Mexico. You may be able to take a HELOC out of your place if you have one now, but you have to most likely pay in all cash whenever you go out of the country. Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, you're gonna have to pay in all DR. You're gonna have to pay in all cash. So you won't have a mortgage. In Asia, you won't have a mortgage, so because you pay all cash. Now, can you divide it into monthly installments if you borrowed it from like a HELOC or something, and say your HELOC is going to charge you $400 a month, and can your Airbnb give you $1,000 a month? Yes, that can work that way also. But the benefit and why, and I have a if you haven't already checked my first real estate purchase in Playa del Carmen on my channel, it gives more detail. But the purpose of buying an international place is simple. When you owe nothing on a house or a condo, except for the yearly taxes in Mexico, which is going to be $1,000, and a piece of Camiso, which is going to be $600 a year. That means basically 16. Let's just say estimate up $2,000 a year is all you got to keep putting in Mexico. You can go there and live free. Mexico, I believe, if you own a property, you can live there year round. So you don't really. You're not at. I wouldn't suggest buying it as much for the profit, but use it for profit for Airbnb when you're not there. But you're buying it for the freedom to say, no matter what goes on in the United States, if I lose my job, no matter what goes on in the United States, if my baby mama stresses me out and takes me to court for all my money, no matter what goes on in the United States, if the racial tensions get too high, I can go to Mexico and only have to pay $2,000 a year, versus when you're in the States where you're paying $1,200 a month. That's the reason why.
And let me add to that. But when you're not living there, you want to make sure that money is that property is making money.
Yeah, definitely. That was the part we were saying. You want to make sure you can Airbnb when you're not there. When you're in the States making your buck or doing your stuff, you're making money. But that place, you don't owe nothing but $2,000 a year, and that's the reason why I'm buying internationally. Local rate. Let's see. Passport says, I think these housing markets, and we're gonna answer one more comment. So if you got any comments, we're gonna go to probably 2 more minutes or 3 more minutes, and then we'll end it. I think housing market is eventually crash here in Nashville, Tennessee. Ooh, that's tough. We have 100 people a day moving here. I bought my 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo duplex for $1,200, and I'm looking to rent it out. Nashville is going to be is one of the places that's blowing up. I know that, and I'm on the East Coast. So I'd say, I don't know, man. I don't know if you can go into Nashville now, but you like I said, passport stamp. You're from there. You know the area. You know it. Yeah, Nashville's tough right now.
Hey, can I add in there? Right now, Texas right now is a hot spot. You know, I'm born and raised from there.
Yeah, Texas hot. Texas hot. But Texas been hot for a while though, since Elon moved the plant there.
Yeah, well, it's like the new Silicon Valley in Austin.
Right.
So everything that moved up right now, like I said, my cousin, like he's bitching at me. He's like, hey, Ken Folk, I gotta pay $1,600 and for mortgage and blah blah blah. I'm like, buy a house. But his problem is that he doesn't have the credit and job history to buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell him. That's why they set them prices like that for renters, because they know you can't buy a house.
Yeah,
you don't have the credit history and the financial ends to do that. So you're set to do that. So what I told him was, get your stuff together to buy a house.
Yeah.
And then get yourself out of that situation. And then you can buy your house and talk about what you're doing. Hey, rent out them other rooms or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Crypto.
Texas real estate used to be you used to get a lot for your money in Texas. Now it's out the roof right now. Everything is out the roof right now.
Here's the thing about that though. Even though it's out the roof of what Texas is, it's still cheap if you're from New Jersey. This is another thing that if you guys have a career like travel where you can actually move around and not have to live in the place that you can do, then I would suggest maybe leaving where you live and buying a property somewhere where it's cheaper. Like if I wanted to, I could take $50,000 and go buy a place in Middle America. I don't really know Middle America that much, but if I'm paying $50,000 to $60,000 for a house, it really doesn't really matter if I get tenants in right away because I've paid it all off. Yes,
yeah, but do you understand what I'm saying? This is what made the prices boom in Texas, see, because people are coming from California, where Silicon Valley is, and they want to move to Texas now. They got a cheaper deal, right? But the residents there now the residents got to pay more. That's what I'm saying. This is the seller's market right now.
Yeah, and
they're used to paying $2,500. What is $1,600 to them? It's nothing.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happened in Florida too. And Benny, I wouldn't invest in crypto right now, man. Not right now. Me personally, because I
got robbed in crypto. I lost about almost $1,000. I ain't gonna lie about it. Like I told you, overnight the price dropped and I lost all my money. And I was like, "What happened?" I'm more into stocks. I'm not in that crypto stuff, man.
Yeah. All right, so we over the time. We went well over the time. I want to thank Travel Squad. I want you to, if you have any last thoughts on it, let them know what your last thoughts are on the subject on financial education being at the top and everything else being this distraction from the celebrity news to the religion to love and lust to politics to this pandemic, everything being this distraction to stop you from getting financially educated. Anything to say?
Yeah, a lot of stuff is hidden in books. They used to hide this stuff from us in books all day. They used to tell us, you know what I'm saying, hey, what does the word say? And you couldn't read it and you get beaten lynched. So that's what they do. They hide a lot of stuff in books, man. Don't watch YouTube a lot. Look at the book, the Dewey Decimal System. All that stuff backtracks to that stuff. You gotta backtrace the knowledge into the books, man. But what Flyboy's talking about, man, I love this dude's channel, man. I've been watching him travel for a long time. He's spitting out facts and knowledge, man. I ain't got nothing more than that. It's just that I know real recognize real. He's spitting out facts. He's talking about buying houses. He's doing it. He's not just I'm thinking about doing it. He's doing it. So it is what it is. Fast, rich, brother lane. I'm out. Travel Squad 2 days in the period. Don't forget
Appreciate you, man. Salute, bro. Salute, man. Appreciate you, man. Yo, listen, I don't plan on trying to reach everybody. But if you're one of the people out there that was just been trying to figure out how you can, build your family, build your generational wealth, how you can escape this rat race, how you can stop being a servant to the people who are financially educated and running this country, running the world, not this country, not just the United States, but the world. Like, do you know how much of a gift it is to have been born in the United States, to be a United States resident? Like, I know a lot of people, a lot of people complain that, they took us from the African culture and they forced us to be here. But when I look at the longevity of the situation, I don't know if I would have been as financially educated as I am here. I mean, now, if I had still been in Africa, I don't know if I would have been as financially educated if I didn't have to go through years of seeing, bad business decisions, bad stuff like that. So now that we know that financial education is the only, and not the only way, but financial education is at the top, if you don't try to do whatever you can to financially educate yourself, and yes, books are some of the best places. Me personally, I learn differently. I can use the internet. But the issue with the internet and with YouTube and with Instagram and all this other TikTok and everything like that is that the people who are financially educated at the top, they put all these distractions on these sites. They put things that is going to grab your attention, things that are going to touch your emotion. They're going to put things that are going to, and you have to be able to weave through it. You have to be able to weave through it. Go look at Bigger Pockets. Go look at Robert Kiyosaki. Go look at even like people who don't go to investment route. Go to I forgot his name. It's just so many people. But whatever you do, don't waste your time on stuff that's not going to improve your financial education. It's your boy FRE$H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. Financially educate yourself, man. Because financial freedom, financial independence, y'all see how I'm living, man. I can't even knock it, man. It's the best thing in the world. Peace.